Jupiter is classified in astrology as one of the two social planets, the other being Saturn. They orbit between the inner, highly personal planets and the outer, transpersonal planets. Jupiter spends roughly 1 year in a zodiac sign and therefore goes through the whole circle in a matter of 12 years. Like every planet in the horoscope, this one represents a few principles and a particular drive. Jupiter stands for expansion of mind and spirit, but we're not talking about painful transformation. No, Jupiter represents easy, unobstructed growth. He brings luck, opportunity, and fun. Jupiter's lucky life begins at his birth. His father, Saturn, who had received a prophecy saying so, was fearful that one of his children would usurp him. So as soon as they came out, Saturn swallowed each of them whole. His wife, Rhea, grew tired of this, so when Jupiter was born, instead of turning him over, she slipped Saturn a stone wrapped in swaddling cloth, which he promptly swallowed. Jupiter was safe. He was ushered away and raised comfortably on an island. Well, the prophecy Saturn had received was correct, and Jupiter did arise to fight for the throne. After he and his brothers disposed of Saturn, they went about dividing up the world. The three entered a game of drawing lots, which Jupiter won, of course, and so he immediately became king of Mount Olympus. Mount Olympus was 10 times higher than the highest mountain on Earth. On the topmost peak was Jupiter's palace with an entranceway made of clouds. The weather was perfect every day of the year, and the view looked out over all of Greece and Italy. Jupiter was well known for his generosity, so while he was king, any god or goddess was welcome to live there with him. Jupiter may have dwelled 10 miles up in the sky, but he took an intimate role in the lives of the ancient people. In fact, he kept two jars. One brought a good day and one brought a bad day. An individual's fortune was determined by which jar Jupiter chose to drop a coin into. So it's one of the planets associated with fate, but more specifically, the quality of your life. In the chart, Jupiter speaks to your philosophy about the world, the spiritual practices that appeal to you, how you tend to educate yourself, where you're lucky, where you tend to take risks, how you seek to grow, in what ways you're generous, and what causes you to feel abundant. You can see Jupiter's expansion in the glyph. It reaches up and out. In the horoscope, it's where you find your broadest vision. But remember, Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, so it does stuff simply for the sake of stimulation, which may or may not have any real value. Case in point, Jupiter's marriage. Even though it was a pairing of enormous love and passion, Jupiter shapeshifted constantly in order to mate with anything that moved. His love for Juno curtailed his actions not at all. And because his marriage wasn't sacred to him, his wife did the same thing, and they ended up in a circle of mutual hurt, jealousy, and elaborate acts of revenge. Blind expansion. and sheer need for excitement can have a dark side. Let's also bring in the history of the planet itself. When the solar system was forming, Jupiter tried to become a star, a sister to our sun, but it failed. It's now a gas giant, mostly hydrogen and helium, with no surface whatsoever to slow down the hurricane winds. There's a terribly ungrounded nature to Jupiter. Its need to be bigger and better than it is can lead to self mythologizing, at the least pontification. Jupiter fuels the fire and brimstone preacher who's pounding the lectern, totally unhampered by self awareness, wagging a paternalistic finger because he has a pipeline to what God wants and feels entitled to shove it down everyone's throat. Jupiter inspires holy wars, racism, sexism, all the isms. It's where we can be heretical in our pursuit for the highest, most elite peak of Mount Olympus. On a day to day basis, greed is probably the greatest weakness of the Jovian personality. However, when it's expressed in a positive way, someone with a strong Jupiter in the chart can be very refreshing. It's the person who gets the big picture, asks the big questions, and is truly fascinated by international affairs. They're informal philosophers, adventurers, and witness bearers. They like to share what they know because they believe in uplifting others through inspiration. The direction our growth and our inspiration takes, where we do our heroic striving, is reflected by Jupiter's placement and position in the chart. Thank you for watching Secrets from an Astrologer's Desk, The Meaning of Jupiter. Stay tuned for all the ways you can get in touch for a birth chart reading and full astrological services. Jupiter through the fire signs to come.